Good afternoon, Professor Dr. Casey Chan. My name is Kevin, and I'm your 7th semester student in IBM Petra. And today, I want to prepare you a short video presentation about myself, about my core competence, and also about my future planning up to 10 years from now. So, without further ado, let's begin the presentation, and I hope you enjoy it. In these presentations, I would like to answer all of your questions, which are: what is my core competences, what is your current plan after finishing the class 1, 3, 5, 10 years from now, and the last one, which is what have I learned and how have I applied what I've learned. So, to answer all of these questions, I would like to use the grand framework of 6A, which are consisted of awareness, alignment, actions, adoption, assurance, and also anticipations. So let's just begin with the awareness. So the big question in awareness is, what is my core competences as a person and also as a student? So according to Dr. Casey Chan, I can analyze my core competences by looking at the individual competence, teamwork competence, organizational competence tests. So let's begin with looking at the individual competence tests, which begin with the learning style. So as you can see in the slides, I have a higher score in reflectors and also second highest score in theories, but I have the lowest score in activists. So what does it mean? First, as a reflector, I'm a kind of person which is thoughtful, detail oriented, and also a good listener to other people. While being a theorist means that I'm a logical person. I use sequential steps to solve the problems, and I'm also a perfectionist person that see things through a helicopter view. And being low score in activists means that I cannot take a direct actions, and I also doesn't like to take challenges, and I'm not an enthusiastic person, which is bad. And moving on to the next one, which is the entrepreneurship GET test. I have the highest score in creative tendency, which means that I'm a person that is innovative. I have a lot of idea, and I love to enjoy challenges in my life. And I have the second highest score with drive and determination traits, which is the score 6, which means that I love to take advantage of opportunity. I'm hardworking and also have higher determinations compared to other people, and I'm also an honest people. And moving on to the third one, which is need for achievements, I have the score of 5, which is the third highest score in this test, which means that I'm a kind of person that is forward-looking. I have a high self-confidence, and I'm optimistic in an unknown situations. And I also have the lowest score in the need for autonomy, which means that I'm easily bowed to group pressures, and I like to take orders and cannot work alone. So in total, I have the total point of 26, which means that I'm not suitable to become an entrepreneur. And moving on to the third test, which is 5 big personality test. Looking at the slides, looks like I get the highest score in agreeableness, which means that I'm a polite person, respect to the voice of other people, and love to listen to their voice and opinion. So moving on to the next one, which is the second highest score, which is in conscientiousness and also openness to experience, which means that I'm an honest person, I'm a hardworking person, and I also love to follow all the rules. And meanwhile, I have the low score in neuroticism, which means that I'm stable, not easily taken by mood swing. So from this result, actually I can conclude that, well, I have a great traits of a leader. And now we are moving on to the second one, which is a teamwork competence, which is solely determined by the Belbin's 9 team rules. So this is the overall looks of the score. And I have the highest score in implementer, second highest score in specialist, and also lowest score as a coordinator, which means that being an implementer, I am a discipline, I can be counted in, I'm reliable, I'm conservative, and the most important thing is I can turn ideas into a practical actions. And being a specialist, I'm a single-minded, self-starting, and also a dedicated person. And being low as a coordinator means that I'm not a good decision maker and also not a good leader. And moving on to the organizational competence, which is solely determined by the leadership self-assessment. Let's see. So this slide shows the whole picture of the result of the test. And uh, I have the highest score, which is 14, in building relationship, which means that I can leverage an understanding of personality to accomplish a goals. So I love to use the relationship with other people and drag them to achieve the organizational goal. So this is a good trait of mine. And also I have three things that being the lowest score, which is motivating and inspiring, leading teams, and also facilitating ethical conduct, which means that, well, I'm not a person that love to energize other people and make them to achieve a vision. And also I cannot produce needed change, and I also cannot work hard to create a working environment, and I also cannot use integrity as a decision point because, well, I'm a kind of person that has a less integrity. So we are done with the awareness. We already know what is my core competence. So let's move on to the alignment. The big question in alignment is why knowing my core competence is important in my life. Well, this is easy because knowing my core competence means I know my strengths. What are my strengths? I know my weakness. What are my weaknesses? So by knowing them, I can enhance the strength that I have, so it can be better, and I can of course fix the weaknesses so it will not become my weaknesses forever. So in conclusion, by knowing the strength and weaknesses, I can become a better me in the future. And moving on to the action. So how can I implement my core competencies in the future for 1, 3, 5, 10 years from now? So first, let's see my first year plan. In the first year plan, I want to learn from my parents by working with them in my family businesses. Why? Because I'm an oldest son in my family, and I have to continue my family business. So I have to start to learn from them how to operate a business. And besides, I also have a dream to become a future CEO that owns my own business. So before becoming my CEO, I have to learn first from my parents, which is the master of the leader. So to become to achieve this first year plan, what do I need? Well, I need to become a highly capable individual which love to learn, love challenges, a good listener, honest, hardworking, and also dedicated kind of persons. And from the test before, I know that I already fulfill all of these traits needed to achieve the first year plan. So I'm okay. And well, moving on to the third year plan. After following my parents, actually I have a plan to take a full charge in one of my parents' businesses. So I have a higher responsibility in here. And the traits needed here is I have to become communicative, relationship builder, coordinator, decision maker, motivator, and also leader of changes. And I need not only becoming highly capable individual, but also a contributing team member, competent manager, and also effective leader. And for the fifth year plan, I have a dream to finally become an entrepreneur that develop my own business idea into a real business. And the traits needed here is actually the traits of being a great entrepreneur, which is need for achievement, need for autonomy, creative tendency, calculating, risk-taking, and also drive and determination. And it looks like I need to improve in a need for autonomy and also calculated risk-taking. And moving on to the 10-year plan, which is I want to integrate all the businesses, both my parents' business and my business, into one giant company which is integrated each other. And I dream to improve the efficiency in the company through digitalization, because nowadays, and not nowadays, I mean currently, all things is still done manually. So to achieve this 10-year plan, I need to become a new level kind of person, which is a master change agent. And now we are moving on to the adoption. So how can I adopt all the lesson learned that to achieve these targets? So the lesson learned, the number lesson learned that I got from you, sir, and also from IBM is about how to think, about the way of thinking. So I plan to use your models, which are some like what how 6 model and also concept diagram, to make myself into having a mind of a consultant, which is good because a mind of consultant can make me become a problem solver and also a good strategist to solve all the problems in my future career. So this is an important lesson learned that I really want to implement in my life. And moving on to the assurance, we are fine with the questions, which is what can be used for a success measure in my plan execution. Well, the answer is simple: the key performance indicator. So what is the key performance indicator in the first year of my career? Well, I want to master at least 85% of all the business process, including how to negotiate with customers, how to negotiate with suppliers, how to know how is the business process, and so on. So at least I want to master 85% of them. And for the third year of KPI, I want to achieve the profit growth at least 25% per year, or maybe at least I can have a stable and maintain the net profit of the business when my parents is in charge 100%. And for the fifth year KPI, I want to achieve PEP less than 2 years and gain at least 50% annual profit growth after PEP. And for the 10-year KPI, I want to gain at least 50% annual profit growth after the integrations. By achieving this, I can assure that, well, the integration is successful. Moving on to the last one, which is anticipation, we would like to see what are the things need to be anticipated during the plan execution. There are two things. First is business risk, second is organizational risk. So what are the business risks? Well, first, there is a bad economic condition such as inflation or weakening rupiahs, which will create a low demand for our products. So this is bad and needs to be anticipated ahead. And also the second one is the threat of competitors. When the competitors realize how profitable is our business and try to enter the competitions and offers the customers with better product and lowest cost. So we would like to anticipate this kind of threat by keep improving ourselves, improving myself and the business, so I can serve the customer better than the competitors. And moving on to the last risk, which is organizational risk, which consists of when people fail in making the right decision, leader fail to lead, and employees fail to do their job. So I would like to anticipate this kind of risk in the future. So this is all the end of the presentations, and I already explained with the 6A. So Mr. Casey, as you can see from my presentation earlier, I already used the 6A framework to answer all of your questions. And in this assessment, I learned one valuable things, which is I have a great dreams, I have a great future ahead. But I also realized that if I didn't do anything, if I keep sitting down, doing nothing, and being lazy, and forget all things that you already taught me and stop learning from others, I never be able to achieve those visions. So that's one important thing that I learned from your assessment. So that's all my presentation. Thank you for listening. See you next time.